Hi guys and welcome to Crazy Burger. So we continue our quest looking at all the Evercade collections on the Super Pocket, just checking for compatibility or any issues that might stop them from being enjoyable or at least playable on the little device. Some really good collections here. This is Arcade Collection 6 to 10. We'll be playing through them, checking them through in this video, just checking for any issues that we might see. Obviously we've got the Toaplan collections. They will have tatty mode style games. They are not ideal for the smaller screen, but will they work if we stretch the screen? Let's find out in this video. Okay guys, so we're going to get started. Just a quick thing here, this is the penultimate video looking at the Evercade cartridges. The next video we'll be looking at the home computer collections, that's collections 1 to 5, and then we'll maybe just look at the cartridges on a one-to-one basis when they actually get released. So thankfully, nearing the end of this series, hope you've enjoyed it and it's been helpful for you guys. But without further ado, let's have a look at Gaelco Arcade 2. Okay, let's have a look at this collection. This is cart number 6. And this is obviously a follow-up from the first collection, which was absolutely brilliant. And we've got 6 games on here. We've got Big Karnak, World Rally 2, Thunderhoop 2, Maniac Square, Squash, and Touch and Go. I have to say, this is a really good collection. Definitely not up there with the first one, but still pretty good. And these all should work fine on your Super Pockets. Let's have a look at them now. Okay, not sure exactly how many games I'm going to play through in every collection. Obviously not all of them because it would take far too long. But let's have a quick look at Big Karnak anyway. It's a kind of a scrolling beat 'em up, kind of a slash 'em up type of thing. And one thing I certainly noticed, I thought the sprites were pretty small at times. Maybe it might be a struggle to sort of look at, I guess. And it's not really the most exciting game. It's okay, but it's not amazing. Does get a little bit repetitive and boring. And yeah, it's pretty hard. But yeah, you can see it's actually fine on your Super Pockets. No big issues there. Okay, Maniac Square, let's double check this one first. This is obviously a puzzle game. I'm just wondering if the size of the screen is okay for the Pocket. Let's check it out. Obviously remember, press select to insert a coin. Ah yeah, it's absolutely fine. It does move pretty slow paced to start with, but it's pretty playable and does look really nice on this screen. Now there is actually a secret version of this, but that's really only for your EXP and VS, sadly, because I think that was probably the better version, but that one was not full screen if I recall, whereas this is, so it's probably better that we have this version on the Super Pockets. It's actually quite good fun. Obviously we don't have Tetris, so this might be the closest thing we'll have to Tetris on the Super Pocket. Yep, when it looks like a Game Boy we're playing, doesn't it? Almost. Okay, I know what you're saying, it's Squash. That can't be playable, but you know, arguably it could be one of the best games on this collection. I found it really fun to play, very addictive, and that definitely surprised me, that's for sure. Look at the censorship. Okay, pretty easy. There's only 2 options with the controls. I think one's lob and or fast something. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Controls, yeah. Soft swing, hard swing. Pretty straightforward. Easy stuff. And most of the arcade games are pretty straightforward. A couple of buttons. Don't use the shoulder buttons. No big issues. But this game is amazingly addictive. Unfortunately, I'm not putting in a good display here. It's hard to see the sort of ball at times, I guess. That could be an issue. But I'm not really having any massive problems here. Oh, was that below? Out. Yeah, we got a point. Anyway guys, I can say this is a really addictive game. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I know it makes no sense, but it is a lot of fun to play. Okay, we've got Thunderhoop 2, which is quite different to the first game on the first collection. It's more of a kind of action style game. I think it's certainly far better. So let's check it out. Now this one plays brilliant on here. I'm really quite surprised, to be honest, because I know this game is pretty hard to emulate if you're trying to play on other devices, like maybe like an Anbernic device or something. So I'm well aware that this game is pretty tricky and sometimes won't even play. The fact that this game does play on every Evercade device and this well is pretty amazing stuff, and it's a really good fun game to play. Okay, we've got Touch and Go, which is a volleyball game. Not going to play that. It's okay, it's probably one of the best volleyball games you'll play on Evercade, but it's okay. World Rally 2, personally prefer the first one. I'm not really sure why, I've just not got into the second one at all, even though it's probably pretty much the same idea. Well, obviously it is, but I don't really know why, I just never got into it the same way. Personally, I think sometimes the graphics are a little bit too brown and too green. And it sometimes blends a bit, it's hard to see the road surfaces. And I definitely crashed a lot more in this game than I did in World Rally 1. Again, here that was a merge there and I kind of struggled to see where the road is. So it's certainly a trickier challenge than World Rally 1. But still good fun, it is a good game, no doubt about it. But yeah, I think I'd still rather play the first game. Yeah, because I crash quite a lot. Okay, so overall I would say this collection's really good, pretty decent. Not as good as the first Gaelco arcade collection, but still pretty decent. Some good games here that's certainly worth looking at for your Super Pocket. No massive compatibility issues, so I would certainly recommend this collection for you. Okay, this is the Irem Arcade 1 collection. This is cart number 7. There are 6 more games on here. We've got obviously the very famous game R-Type, we've got Moon Patrol, Battle Chopper, In the Hunt, Lightning Swords and 10 Yard Fight. Yep, only 6 games, but they're still really good games and a lot of fun to be had from these. And obviously if you're a big fan of R-Type, you will absolutely love this collection. This should be pretty decent on your pocket. Anyway, let's have a look at the games now. Alright, let's have a look at some of the games. Let's have a quick bash at 10 Yard Fight. Now, something in my mind thought this might have been a Tate mode style game, but it isn't actually that at all. And yeah, it might be an American football sort of simulation, I guess, but it's still pretty decent, I think. I quite enjoyed playing it. It is hard though, I think. It's not quite John Madden. This is probably one of their older titles on here, along with Moon Patrol. So the idea is to obviously see that man run there, is try and throw the ball to him. Or you could try and run yourself, I guess. Oh, I threw it the wrong way. Anyway guys, this is good fun once you get used to it. And once you actually make that touchdown, oh, addictive stuff. I passed it the wrong way again. Again, that might be the D-pad or maybe it's just me. Okay, we got Battle Chopper as well, which is brutally hard. This is also known as Mr. Heli. Not going to play through that, that one is going to destroy me. I will play through In the Hunt, this one is excellent. Although yeah, it is a coin guzzler at the end of the day, but it's still really good fun to play and it does look fantastic. Let's check it out. Certainly one of the best looking arcade games I've played recently, that's for sure. Really nice. Though it is pretty difficult. The amount of enemies, firepower getting thrown at you is just nigh on ridiculous. So I guess if you were playing this in the arcades, you would spend an absolute fortune trying to even get off the first couple of screens if you're as bad as me. And already I'm probably losing life after life here. But great little game, it's very addictive, looks great, it's got bosses as well at the end of each sort of stage that are just unbelievable. But still, it's a great game and I would certainly recommend it. Just be prepared to spend a lot of money, well, virtual money that is. Okay, we also got Lightning Swords, that's a kind of a Shinobi style game, which is okay, it plays absolutely fine on here too. Got Moon Patrol, the old classic Moon Patrol, I suppose we should have a quick blast at that. As you can see, it looks great on this little screen. This is a great little game. Again, another kind of addictive style arcade game. It looks very basic. Obviously it is one of their older titles, but it's still a really good fun game to play. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh. Oh no, I'm going to get... Oh, damn it. Okay guys, without a doubt R-Type is probably the most recognised game on this collection, and it is a fantastic shoot 'em up. Although it's not for the faint-hearted, it is a tough game. Absolute classic. This is probably released in pretty much every game system you can think of. Still hard on pretty much every system as well. But yeah, it does look amazing on the Super Pocket. Seems perfectly suited for it. And if you like R-Type, then why not pick this collection up? It's absolutely fantastic stuff. Don't see any issues with this collection. Overall it's pretty decent, and I would certainly recommend it. Obviously it is only 6 games, but still decent enough, and I would recommend buying it for your Super Pockets. Okay, next collection we're looking at Toaplan Arcade 1. This is collection number 8, and we've got 8 games as well, all arcade hits obviously. We've got Tiger Heli, Guardian, Alcon, Flying Shark, Truxton, Zero Wing, Snowbros and Techie Packy. We've got a few platformy style things, a beat 'em up, the single screen kind of thing, the Snow Brothers, and obviously we've got the asterisk there at the top. That indicates that these games are best played in Tatty mode on your EXP and with your VS if you've got a swivel monitor. On the smaller screen, the Super Pockets, not ideal, you can't really play them. The screen is far too small. You can stretch the screen if you want, make it full screen. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't, it just looks too stretched. But let's have a look at them anyway and you can let me know what you think. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the games. Alcon, not a big fan, but let's have a look at it anyway. I'll show you some of the issues that we're going to come across playing these games on the Super Pocket. So if you've got the screen ratio set to original, then it's obviously going to play in this sort of style, and yeah, no matter what game you play on this Super Pocket, it's pretty much unplayable and it's just too small to be, I don't know, enjoyable. You can hardly see it, it's all squashed up, it just doesn't make any sense. And yeah, there's quite a few games on the Toaplan collections. I guess there's about 8 overall between the two collections. Does that make any sense to buy them? Probably not. You can stretch the screen, we'll have a look at that in a minute, but playing like this, I don't know. Not the greatest, I'll have to be honest. Certainly not meant for this small screen. And maybe it makes the game even harder than it should be, given the fact I can hardly see a blinking thing. Or maybe I'm just making excuses. So we can obviously stretch the screen to full screen. Does it help? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. This one isn't actually too bad. I don't think you probably get away with it. It does look pretty stretched, but I've seen games a lot worse. So really guys, it is up to you. If you're a big shoot 'em up fan, then you might want to think twice. It's up to you. Will you want to play these games like this in this aspect ratio? It's not the worst, but probably not the best either. Okay guys, not going to play through all the shooters. For me, they all play pretty similar. We've got Flying Shark, that's another Tatty mode style game. Guardian is a pretty dreadful sort of scrolling beat 'em up, so to speak. It's pretty awful, I wouldn't recommend that one. We've got Snow Brothers, let's check this one out. This is good fun. Obviously it's your single screen sort of style game where you need to basically clear all the enemies off the screen, move on to the next level by utilising your snowball. It's pretty addictive stuff. It's pretty similar to every other single screen game like this. This certainly is one of the better ones though, and it's fun to play through to a point. But again, it is a little bit of a coin guzzler, it is pretty difficult, but I guess on these devices you can just insert as many coins as you like. There's no harm done at all. But yeah, it's not bad. Okay, we got Techie Packy, which I think is a puzzle game. I haven't really played this one an awful lot, to be honest. It's kind of an unspectacular puzzle style game. Almost like a Tetris style game, but not quite. And the main issue that I found with this game is obviously I think it's meant as a 2-player game and the screen is split in 2, which for the Super Pocket in mind probably doesn't make a lot of sense. I can't even remember how to play this. I think we're trying to create, I guess it's 4 blocks. I think blocks of 4. I don't know. I honestly can't remember how this plays. It's very strange. I have to be honest, I've absolutely no idea what I'm doing here. It probably plays a bit more like columns rather than Tetris, maybe. I think. I don't know, that makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense at all. Okay, we've got Tiger Heli. That is another sort of shoot 'em up, Tatty mode style. So it's the same as Alcon, same idea. Up to you if you want to play these or not. Truxton, now this is very good. Again, it is Tatty mode style, but this might be just buying this collection just for this game. It is very good. Obviously, let's put this display back to original how it should be. Yep, as before, not recommended. This is an excellent game. I definitely enjoyed this one out of all the shoot 'em ups on this collection. In this aspect ratio, that is anyway. See, it's not too bad like this, but if we sort of stretch the screen a little bit again, it's almost like a different game really, isn't it? But you could argue that it is playable. Oh my god, I just wasted that. And yeah, sadly, I'm not very good at these games. Okay guys, last game I'm going to look at is Zero Wing, which is actually a really decent horizontal style shoot 'em up as well. It's fantastic. This might be my favourite game on this collection, fun enough. And it's a shoot 'em up, but it's very good. It's the ones you can actually suck up the enemies and use that as a weapon. Like so. Kind of doesn't have much impact sometimes though. I honestly just didn't bother for the best part. And there's different sort of weapons you can pick up too, and it has a lot of different variances depending on which one you choose. But yeah, I absolutely love this one. It was good, and the fact you can just insert a coin, just keep continuing until you actually finish the game. So yeah, I would entirely recommend this game. But as a collection overall, it's a little bit of a mixed bag for me. Obviously got those Tatty mode style games. Ideally you want to stretch the screen, but can you put up with that? Would it be a problem for you? Some great games here, yes. If you love shoot 'em ups, you'll love it, but you've certainly got to keep that in mind with this small screen, that it's not going to be perfect. Okay, moving on to Toaplan Arcade 2. 7 more games. This is Arcade Collection number 9. And we've got Wardener, Rally Bike, Twin Hawk, Fire Shark, Twin Cobra, Hellfire and Demon's World. Personally, I think I probably prefer this collection. They've got a couple of sort of platforming style games. Yes, we've got more Tatty mode style games, so again, this probably won't be ideal for your Super Pocket. But nonetheless, let's have a look at them and you can make that decision yourselves. Personally, I'm not really sure I would use them on the small screen. But there's still some decent games here nonetheless. Okay, on to the second collection, and let's start with Demon's World, one of the first games on the collection. So this one is pretty decent. Don't forget you've got a double jump as well, and you can upgrade your weapons or downgrade them, sometimes it feels like to me. But this one is good fun. Again, you got guardian bosses at the end of each section too. All sorts going on. It's kind of like a Ghostbuster style game, I guess. That's the theming I was getting. Some kind of 80s vibes certainly going on through the game. But yeah, it's pretty decent, and I don't see any massive issues on the Super Pocket with this game. Okay guys, Fire Shark is a sort of Tatty mode style game. Let's have a look at this one. I'm not going to play through them all because they do tend to play quite similar, a few of these games. Obviously I've got the screen stretched, so it's up to you if you think it's playable like this. Some games are alright, some are not. Not really my style of games at all. I just get frustrated and almost feel as if I get sucked towards the firepower accidentally. It's like a kind of fly to light, I guess, I don't know, but that's just how it feels when I'm playing these games, and therefore I'm just not that great at them. So it really is up to you again with this collection. Would you buy it and play these games like this? I don't know. Okay, let's have a look at Hellfire as well, might as well. So yeah, this one is a horizontal shoot 'em up. Much like Zero Wing, I guess. If I recall, this is the one where you can change the direction of your firepower by cycling through the different options that you have, and it's kind of it certainly makes this one stand out for being completely different to the other shoot 'em ups in the collection. And you definitely have to cycle through these depending on where you are and where the enemies are, so it's a nice touch. I certainly like the variance of this game with that little touch to it. It's brilliant. Although, I'm still crap at these games, doesn't really matter. I try, but I'm still crap. yeah, this one definitely works on the Super Pocket, and it works really well. Okay, Rally Bike, this is a Tate mode style game, and yeah, it doesn't work playing it in the normal ratio, so let's keep it to the full screen. Can it be playable that way? I don't know. Maybe it's easier because you've got a wider screen to aim at, not sure. It certainly is a tricky game. I think arguably it might actually be better playing it this way than playing it in the original ratio. You've kind of got a wider screen to aim at, and it probably makes it a little bit easier maybe. I mean, this isn't an easy game at all, but I say that and I've just crashed, but I think having a wider screen certainly helps. Having that sort of tight screen just makes the game extremely tough to see what you're doing all the time. Ooh, don't crash into the enemies. Remember to refill your fuel. There's a fuel coming up. Oh, and I've just missed it. Anyway guys, this game probably works better like this, arguably. That's just my opinion guys, I think it probably does play better like this. That's a surprise. Okay, Twin Cobra and Twin Hawk, I'm not going to play them, they are just Tate mode shoot 'em ups. They're pretty decent shoot 'em ups, they're all pretty similar to me, but yeah, not really for me. But if you love them, you will love those games. Warner, it's another platform game style thing. It's okay. Just shut your ears when this part is going on. That sound is horrific. Nothing to do with the Super Pocket. That's how it sounded. Awful. Okay, so this is pretty much similar to Demon's World, I guess. In that it's a kind of a platform, sort of almost run and gun, I guess. Obviously there's no guns involved, but we've got some kind of firepower going on. Don't ask how the boys got it, I don't know. But this is very challenging. It's a lot more challenging than Demon's World, arguably. And I'm rubbish at it. But, as you can see guys, it works perfectly fine. And is probably perfectly suited for the Super Pockets. Okay guys, overall I would say this is a pretty decent collection. I'd probably recommend this one more so than the first collection, but again, you're going to have to put up with games in the Tate mode style. Do you play them as original ratio? Probably not, completely unplayable. Do you stretch the screen? Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not, so really it's up to you. A decent collection for shoot 'em up fans, but maybe not ideal for the Super Pocket. Okay, moving on to one of the more recent collections. This is Piko Arcade 1. Has 9 games, and this is collection number 10. Now this is probably officially the last arcade collection that's been released at the time of this video. This might be wrong, I guess, if they've made any announcements at any point. We'll get 9 hidden gems. Now I'll probably put this video out as games you probably had never played before. But that's not a bad thing. There's some really decent stuff here that I actually quite enjoyed, and I highly recommended this cartridge to everyone that has Evercade, regardless of which product you're playing it on, whether it be VS, EXP, original, whatever. And that would probably be the same for the Super Pocket. There's no Tate mode style games on here, so this should be absolutely fine. But anyway, let's have a look through some of the games. We've got Dragon Master, Burglar X, Fancy World, Earth of Crisis, Steel Force, Diver Boy, The Legend of Silk Road, Master's Fury, Magic Purple and Ultimate Tennis. What a great collection of game names. Let's have a look at some of them now. Okay guys, so certainly a collection of weird games that you probably never played, and this certainly might be the weirdest one. Burglar X. I'm pretty sure there's no issue with any of these games on the Super Pockets. No issues with buttons, that's for sure. Don't need to use any of the shoulder buttons. But this game is probably the weirdest one you'll ever play. And it involves farting. Happy days. Oh, I actually pressed that by mistake. Ah, wrong button again. Yeah, so the farting is kind of used to obviously stop the enemy. I know one of my farts would probably stop the enemy, but anyway. Oh, you can obviously headbutt them as well, but you know, sometimes a fart works better. Yeah, so the idea is to clear, I think collect coins, I think, by bursting the those dice or die that are about here. Honest to goodness, it makes no sense, but it's really good fun to play, and yeah, it does look really good on the Super Pocket. Okay, on to Diver Boy, a kind of single screen game which is really good fun, and it seems to steal some of the sound effects from other games that I've played recently. Can't remember the name of it now. Tumble Pop, is that the one? I think so. Obviously need to dive down, collect all the shells or the pearls, whatever they are, and get to the surface, avoid the enemies, move on, and then get to the absolutely most brutal end of level bosses you'll ever play in your life. Unbelievable. But yeah, it's still a really good fun game. Pretty addictive stuff as well. Okay, so let's move on to Dragon Master. This is the first of the 2 beat 'em ups on here, and it's absolutely brutal. So hard. I don't think I've made it past the first stage in any of these games. And I'm not sure if it's just me or what, but I find these games just horrible to play. They do look good, kind of a Street Fighter style games, but oh, far too hard. And I'm fighting myself, great. There's no doubt they look fantastic, and I guess it might be just about learning the moves, figuring out what those special moves are and taking it from there, but they are very, very difficult. And I think once the enemy starts getting beat, I feel as if they start to spam a lot of the sort of hidden moves, sorry, the special moves, and it just gets ridiculous. But anyway, amazingly I've won that first stage. That must have been a fluke. Okay, we've got Fantasy World and Magic Purple now. Both of them are kind of a similar games. I think Fantasy World is probably the better of the 2. Both completely bonkers and very, very weird. Yeah, the idea is it's a bit like Snow Brothers. I think that's the best way for me to describe that. Basically just clear the enemies from the screen, utilising whatever the heck I'm chucking out my fingertips here. Don't know what it is. It's not a snowball. Probably a fireball of some sorts. Makes no sense, but yeah, still good fun to play, and that's the main thing. So Master's Fury is a little bit like the other game here, Dragon Master. I think this might be the sequel to that game. Not going to play it, it's pretty similar. Another beat 'em up, extremely tough. Steel Force, this is fantastic, really good. Kind of like Alien Breed, but so much more furious. And it's probably a lot more fun to actually play. And happily to say, it looks and plays amazingly well on your Super Pockets. And I have played this one through to completion. It was a blast, really enjoyed it. It does get a little bit repetitive. It's basically the same thing you see here all the way through the game. Shoot everything you see, follow the arrows till you get to the exit, take on the boss at the end of the level, finish, move on to the next stage, and it keeps going on. But it's amazingly good fun. It's an absolute blast, literally. Okay, we've got The Legend of Silk Road, which is an absolutely fantastic scrolling beat 'em up, or fighter, whichever way you want to describe it. And I really enjoyed this one. Not one I'd heard of or played before. Pretty much the same as the full collection on this cart, to be honest. Which is always a good thing when you get Evercade collections. If you've never played some of these games and you discover a game you thoroughly enjoyed, that's what it's all about for me. And it looks great on the pocket again. Sprites are lovely and big, so it's absolutely perfect for this small screen. Sounds good too. Let's crank up a little bit. What I like about the game as well, it's got some branching levels where you can choose which way you want to go. So there's got some replayability value to it as well, which is always great. Plenty of special moves to it. Lots and lots. Honestly, I absolutely love this game. It's really, really cool. Maybe it's quite basic, it gets a little repetitive, but still, it's as good as any beat 'em up I've played in this style, that's for sure. Look at those special effects. Woohoo! And they're still not dead? Really? Love it. Okay guys, we'll round off the video with Ultimate Tennis, which is amazingly probably the best tennis game we have on Evercade. Probably not saying a lot, but this is still pretty good fun to play. I quite enjoyed this one. So you see, it looks fantastic. I don't think the camera all keeps up with the play very well at times though, but still it's pretty good fun and so much better than Jimmy Connors, so much better than the Codemasters tennis game as well, so much more playable, and yeah, it's probably a little bit easier as well, which means it's more enjoyable. It does get hard though. If you manage to make the final of this, it certainly becomes more challenging. Definitely looks a bit weird. The camera's all over the place. It's not a full tennis simulation. You only play like a few games. It's not like you're playing a full sort of tennis match. Still, I really enjoy this one. I think it's really good fun. Okay guys, that's our look at these collections. 6 to 10 from the Purple Arcade label. Mixed bag, I think. There's some really good collections here. Gaelco Arcade 2 is pretty decent. So is Irem Arcade 1 and Piko Arcade 1. I would probably highly recommend picking those up for your Super Pocket. Not too sure about the Toaplan collections. I think having the fact that we've got those Tate mode style shoot 'em ups on there, and obviously other games like Rally Bike, not the greatest in that style, but if you stretch the screen, some of them are okay. It's obviously going to be a personal choice if you want to put up with that or not. Obviously if you love shooters, certainly would recommend them, even though they are obviously stretching the screen to become playable in that way. But if you don't like shooters, you might want to think twice about those two collections here. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching the video. Look out for the next one. It's the home computer collections. I foresee some issues with those ones because they use the shoulder buttons. A lot more complicated games. So look forward to that one. That'll be next. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.